This Las Vegas Grand Prix betting picks 2025 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. We know NASCAR season is still over and there are no NASCAR races on, but we've told you since the beginning of time that we are going to continue to bring racing content to you when it is valid. And Cody, I can think of no more valid of a reason to bring you betting picks than the Las Vegas Grand Prix, baby, on American soil. Formula One cars taken to the strip. It's a beautiful sight if you've never watched it before, and I'm excited for it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been one of the most fun Grand Prix over the last 2 years since they started running it, or started running it once again, I should say. They did have a Vegas Grand Prix back in the 80s, I believe, originally, but this one has been super cool. The race on the strip, near the Sphere, all that fun stuff, under the lights, right? So it's Las Vegas at nighttime. It is a ton of fun. Obviously, NASCAR season is over, so what are we going to do? We're going to focus in on some racing here on American soil. You love to see it. And yeah, this is definitely one that's a can't miss. Saturday night, it's perfect time. Yeah, you have a fun day of college football and then flip on the F1 race and enjoy. It's going to be great.
And what makes it even better, though, honestly, is they are racing at night. Obviously, I don't feel like a Las Vegas race during the day would make much of an impact over things, right?
It would not hit the same. And a lot of the teams. So, again, we're tailoring this to people who don't pay super close attention to F1. If you do, we're glad to have you too, of course. But, a lot of the teams run the same liveries or paint schemes, as we call them in NASCAR, each and every week. But Vegas is one race in particular where they do bring out special liveries. It's Las Vegas, Sin City, right? And so they do kind of lean into the nighttime race and with the liveries there. So, yeah, some pretty cool looking paint schemes, if you will, for the NASCAR world on some of these cars this week.
And I like seeing when the Sphere lights up with drivers' names and drivers' likeness. I mean, that's a huge. Okay, first and foremost,
they do the eyeballs where it's looking at the cars going by. That's pretty cool.
Well, and I wouldn't even know what I would do because I don't think anybody wants to see my face in this condensed screen, let alone on a gigantic Sphere like that. I would probably scare a lot of kids and people all in general. Just they're like, "Oh my God, mommy, what's that?" I don't know. It's just get away from it. No, but anyways,
maybe we'll get our faces up there someday, right?
Again, I don't think anybody wants that, but no, but hey, listen, we're coming off of an exciting race last week, and I will tell you all about that race because there's a lot of good stuff in it, but I would like to first remind you that it is almost Christmas time, and what better way to gear up for the holidays than at the SGPN merch store. The perfect gift for the perfect DGen in your life. Use promo code HOLIDAY. You get 25% off of everything. Yes, even the Race Officials Are Terrorist shirts that everybody loves so much. And then, of course, I love this mistletoe unders. I'm digging that one right now. So make sure you go right over there right now and use that promo code SGPN25. You're going to have a great time.
That's a badass looking Santa on that graphic on that the t-shirt or the
It really
the
is.
shirt. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Kind of looks like you, Cody. That nice little beard.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on the Santa belly as well, so I could definitely pull it off.
All right. No, so last week, Brazil, some really thrilling stuff. And Cody, we've watched F1 now together for a couple of years. And I don't know in my time of watching it with you that I've seen a race that has gotten so much that had so much uncertainty in it, right? There was a lot of stuff that you didn't know.
It might just be a Brazil thing because the last couple of years have been crazy there, but that was weather related. And this was not weather related. It was just a crazy race in and of itself. Obviously, we had in a full episode last week breaking it down, and we did pretty well on the betting card for our first, full week jumping in and diving in with a full card. We had a pretty solid week, so hopefully we're going to be able to carry that over into Vegas. And it was pretty fun weekend of qualifying. I mean, everything was great. Max Verstappen, first time. What did they say? I think it was the first time since 2021 he didn't get through Q1. And it was the first time in his career that he hadn't gotten through Q1 just on speed alone. It wasn't because of or a mechanical issue or a wreck or something. That's obviously happened in his career, but yeah, and then he still comes back to finish on the podium. So it's like, we were all in on him, and it was the right call. It just didn't work out right. So that's always fun too, where we at least got the sweat of it. Unfortunately, didn't catch most of that, but it was a fun weekend.
I wonder how much that power unit had something to do with him being able to rifle back up. I said, hey, let's just put a brand new power unit in and see what we could do. Hey,
worked out.
Tell you what, it worked
Got
out.
Nothing to lose at that point, so why not?
No. And what's funny is that in his interview, he was like, yeah, we had to do some overtaking. I was like, some overtaking. Jesus, Max, you overtook almost the entire field with the exception of 2 cars. But yeah. Good stuff. And the pit stop, the fastest pit stop, I'm back on that one again. Red Bull hadn't had it in a couple of weeks. I called it out. They hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gasly had a big week for us. He was kind of our long shot guy. So yeah, pretty solid week overall. Rob checking in says accidentally stumbled into a live show. That's nice. Glad to have you here. Says he never catches these. Make sure you turn on those click that bell over on the YouTube. Then it'll notify you, of course. Glad for the return of some F1 coverage during the NASCAR off season. So are we. Plenty of NASCAR stuff to still talk about. We did have some episodes last week where we talked about playoff formats, right? Or non-playoff format, whatever it might be, kind of debated or discussed, I guess is how you put it. The different options, what might be good, what might be bad about it. And then, of course, the championship odds are out. So we had episodes on that as well. I think we'll probably have a NASCAR episode later on this week as well. TBD what we're going to talk about exactly, but you'll have to stay tuned. Good reason to click that bell.
It is a good reason to click that bell. Laura checking in. Good afternoon, guys. Hello, Laura. Good to see you again. All right. Yes. So we are in Las Vegas for this Grand Prix. And, I haven't been to Vegas in a very long time. I will admit that. It's been too long for me. And I need to get out there for not just a NASCAR race, but definitely for next year's. I keep saying next year, but this is going to be the next year because I can't not go to this thing anymore. It's a beautiful city.
F1's just, it's tough to get into F1 races.
I'm sure it is.
Especially in Las Vegas. But hey, a couple of years, maybe some of the newness wears off and we'll find our way there.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be hobnobbing with some of the big stars and be up 500 by midnight. But all right. So then should we do this? Should we go take a break? And when we come back, we'll set this race up proper and give you a good start to betting on this race. So, all right, let's do that. I'll tell you first about my friends over at Novig. We're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you are getting the best prices, not just on sports, kids. How about Dancing with the Stars, right? I think they got the semifinals tonight. I'm looking right now at Novig offering plus 130 for Earl. How about minus 180 for the Crocodile Hunter son himself, Irwin? Boy, why he's a heavy favorite. Everybody loves that guy. And then plus 880 for Levitt. So if you want some action on Dancing with the Stars tonight, go check out Novig. It's available in 35 or more states, which means it's available in yours. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. You heard it before, you'll hear it again. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Hey, I'm so excited. I called out AJ Ouellette during the Grey Cup this weekend, and he went off. He got in the end zone for us, which is what we wanted. And he had over 115 rushing yards, which means he had higher than 115 rushing yards, which means he just killed the projection for Underdog. So let's go back to an obscure sport. How about highlight? I love to tell you about all these crazy sports. And really, I'm just going to go on record. I just want to pick a guy named Stan to have higher than 20 total points. 20 and a half total points is his projection. Give me higher. Just because I want to say Stan is going to score higher than 20 and a half points in the World Highlight League. I don't have any stats to back it up. I don't care. That's just exactly what's going to happen. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. I'm sure Stan's a really good guy, but you know.
I'm sure he is. Before we get into the race itself, championship, we hyped it up last week about how close everything was. I'd been feeling really good. We did last offseason futures episode stuff on F1. Of course, had some Oscar Piastri tickets, like 8-1. He was kind of cruising away with it for a while. But went very close into Brazil last week. But Lando Norris really put his stamp on things. 3 events remaining here. And he kind of, popped the door wide open, scoring a ton of points last week. It was the sprint week, which we talked about. We set up that last week. Not that this week, and we'll get into that here in a minute when we set up the Vegas race. But they took advantage of those extra points winning that. Of course, won the Grand Prix as well. So he's up to 390 points. Opened a 24-point lead over Oscar Piastri. Obviously not insurmountable. He could definitely get back, but it's looking a lot tougher for him. Lando, bit of a reputation for blowing things in the points or when it matters. So we'll see if he can hold up his end of the deal. And then it's up to 49 points over Max Verstappen back in third place. So again, not insurmountable, but with only 3 races left, time to shit or get off the pot for Piastri and Verstappen as far as the points race goes.
They say there's like 65 or 80. I can't remember exactly how many points they said were available. I was in and out when they were breaking it down.
Yeah.
Not very many points left.
It's not a lot. That's the best way to look at it. It's not a lot, which, you get one failure or wreck by Lando, and the other guys are able to capitalize on a max day. That obviously, puts them a lot closer. But yeah, very, very few chances left. So you're gonna have to really get up on it and start getting max points this week if you're gonna catch Lando Norris.
Indeed. All right. Well, they'll have to catch him on the Las Vegas Strip where this circuit is located. It is a 6.201 kilometer track, which is, again, just over 3 miles, pretty much over 3 miles. We are set for 50 laps around this circuit for 309.958 kilometers. It's a big one. I mean, this is one of the longer ones on the circuit, and obviously it goes down the streets of Las Vegas, so they have to block off some of the streets. And obviously, as you know, street circuits are not as well manicured as normal circuits. So there'll be potholes, there'll be bumps, there'll be all kinds of things for them to deal with. But by and large, there are 2 DRS zones in this particular track that looks like a little bunny, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like it. I'll ride with you on that. A bunny it is.
It's either a little bunny, or a little piggy. One of the two. I don't know. You tell me.
Could be either. It does look like the upside down pig for sure.
Yes. Oh yeah, because if you put it upside down,
yeah,
then it definitely looks more like
definitely looks like a pig.
Yeah.
But you can go with the bunny the other way. It could be either. I like it.
Well, the way I'm looking at it right now, it looks like a little bunny. So people are like, I don't care what it looks like. Just get to the point. Yeah, there are quite a few little diverse corners in this particular track. to be, let's see, that's 12, 15, 16, 17 corners in this track. So much open space, though. There's two pretty long straightaways that are great for some overtaking. And yeah, this race has definitely entertained us the last couple of years, and I think it's going to do it again.
Yeah, it's been really great racing both years too. Coming in 2 years ago, we were kind of in that Max run of just running away with everything, lighting the world on fire, but that's not what we saw. We saw very competitive racing. Both years it's been very competitive racing. Yes, Max still ended up winning that one, but that took a late pass, definitely wasn't in the books all day long. And then of course, George Russell won last year's race here with the Mercedes 1-2 lockout. So it's this circuit in particular has provided really good racing. Obviously, people come from the NASCAR world. Oh, F1, there's not a lot of passing. There's not a lot of excitement, which looked out last week, right? We did have a very exciting race with a lot going on. The points race this year has obviously been great, as we kind of documented as well. And then you're coming into this circuit, which has lended to good racing the last couple of years. So hopefully we'll be in for another great race this weekend.
I think we will be. All right. Well, then I guess there's nothing more to do than to actually start setting up the bets for this race, Cody. Where are we beginning?
Yeah, and just real quick too, no sprint race this week, right? So get rid of all that format we talked about last week. 3 practice sessions, like the old days in NASCAR for you old NASCAR heads, right? But 3 practice sessions, and then qualifying will be on Friday night, right? 10 o'clock Central Time is the qualifying there in Vegas, and then Saturday night is the race. So don't wait till Sunday to try and put these bets in, but it'll be green flag, 10 o'clock Central Time. So you do the math if you're not in the Central Time Zone. I would say most of us are. Most of the country's in the Central Time Zone, right? Probably more people in the Eastern, but that's all right. I'm in the Central, so that's what you get.
Well, I love it. I'm in the best coast time, so that's what I get.
For show purposes, we do use Pacific time. I just sometimes that's backfired a couple times because I've set a time and they've been like, wait, I meant this time, your time, but we usually figure it out.
We get it figured out. So, all right, Cody. Well, then where are we starting this card?
All right. Well, I am going to start with one Nico Hülkenberg. I'm going to jump on his points finishing plus 225. Again, points finish is a top 10 finish, 20 cars in the field. So be in the top half of the field is what we're looking for. Last year, an 8th place finish for Hülkenberg when he was with Haas. Of course, he is not with Haas anymore. As you know, Rod, he is on a different team, which I had. Kick Sauber, yes, of course. Kick Sauber, his current team. But 8th place finish here last year for Haas. Didn't finish the race in 2023. Got caught up early in that one. But it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but he's been having some good runs this year. Coming off a 9th place run at Brazil, so you like to see that. 19th at Mexico, but 8th place in the U.S. Grand Prix. So over the last couple, he's got a couple of points finishes. You go back a little while, and you can find finishes of 3rd in the British Grand Prix, 8th in Canada. He's got 7 points finishes this season. So coming to a track where, he wrecked the first year fine, but then came back, put together a points performance, and then he's gotten a points finish in 2 of the last 3 Grand Prix and 7 times this season. So as I was kind of looking through the points, top 10s, that's where we gravitate towards in NASCAR. You're kind of looking for value. What do you have? As I was looking, it's like, obviously, the guys at the top of the board are just ridiculous numbers, like minus 8,000 for the top 7 or 8 guys, really. And then you get some guys minus 125, like, okay. But as you kind of get down to a little bit bigger numbers, the plus 225 and another guy we'll get to in a minute, I feel like you're getting some value here. We've seen the field kind of be shaken up a little bit week to week. It's not always the same. Like, there's been some years in F1 where it's like, I could tell you the top 10 within 3 spots just about every single week, right? Occasionally get another guy, but you're having different guys pop up in there. Hulkenberg's been a guy who's been doing it, did it here last year. So going to lean into that. Give me Nico Hülkenberg with a points finish plus 225.
As I said, last week, there were 7 teams represented in the top 10, which is hardly ever the case, especially
F1, that's crazy.
Yeah, especially back last year, even when we were talking about, both Ferraris would be up there, both Mercedes would be up there, both McLarens would be up there, Red Bulls obviously would be up there. So that's already like 6 spots. And try to figure out but 7 teams last week in the top 10. That was incredible. And honestly, we've seen stuff like that almost all season, right? These guys have been able to pop up and give themselves good finishes. And I'll talk about a few of them later as well. But I'll take a qualifying bet to start things off with. I know that Nico loves the free practice bets, and I used to love those too.
Get in the Discord. I'll tell you right now, I'm not even going to try and step on Nico's practice bets because he's amazing at them. Get in the Discord. We have an F1 channel. He's always posting them over there. But dude's been all season long has been killing it with these practice bets. You're going to want to tail him. sg.pn/Discord. And if you don't, just a real quick thing on the Discord. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just an app where you go chat with people, right? And so SGPN has their own Discord server. You go in and there's a bunch of channels inside of that. So you can go talk to other people that are talking about betting for whatever sport you want to bet on. We have a NASCAR channel. We have an F1 channel. There's an IndyCar channel. There's NFL, college basketball, college baseball, college football, everything, all the different sports, right? And there's even some like lifestyle channels and all kinds of stuff. You make friends in there. You talk to people that are, it's a great place to go and talk to people who are looking to talk about the same thing you want to talk about. So sg.pn/Discord. There's your Discord commercial for the week. But it's a great place. And Nico's been dropping some fire picks over there. So shout out to Nico.
Yeah. So you definitely want to tail him, like Cody said, because it's just, I mean, he's been hitting like 40 to 1s in there on practice bets. It's insane. It's really
crazy bets too. Not just like, oh yeah, he's giving out some -200s that cash every week. Like, no, he's throwing out some big dogs that are hitting all the time. That's wonderful.
Indeed. All right. Well, mine's not quite as sexy as Nico's practice bets, but it is Max. Fastest qualifier, 2-1 over on BetMGM. Now they've got to check this one because this one's got it's Max Verstappen against the field as far as qualifying is concerned. So I think it's basically just saying he's going to win qualifying. They all term it differently, but Max to win qualifying is where I'm going with this one. Look, it hasn't been the most dominant season for Max Verstappen as he's, and of course, last week alone, right? Not even making it out of Q1. That doesn't bet you a lot of warm and fuzzies, but he has had a pole in 3 of the last 6 races for him. So it's not as if he's allergic to the pole. He just hasn't been really nailing qualifying like he used to over the last couple of seasons. And of course, the rise of Lando, the rise of Oscar, like these guys, George, just giving him fits and getting on the pole. But this is Las Vegas. Max loves him some Las Vegas. Max is pissed that he missed out on any sort of good qualifying opportunities last week. Embarrassed about that. You don't think Red Bull is going to take that new power unit and shove it up everybody else's tailpipes? That's exactly what's going to happen. I think he's going to come out. He is going to qualify fast, and he's going to qualify first on the pole because he's out to prove stuff. Plus, I mean, listen, like Cody said, time's running out for this team. There's no better place to win in F1 than from the pole. And Max knows that. Max knows that if he gives Lando any sort of opportunity to really just take this race from him early, then it's almost a done deal and a foregone conclusion that he's just not going to catch him in the championship race. So the best way to chip away at that is to just come out fast, qualify first, and put yourself in the position to fight off everybody rather than trying to work your way. I did some overtaking today. He doesn't want to say that again. And then, like I get, the best way to do that is just come out of the pole. And Max Verstappen, I mean, it's almost like I don't want to go out and call him to win this race because anything can happen. But I think qualifying, like he hasn't been on the pole actually in either one of these races, to be honest with you. But he did win. So he did win the last one, which kind of makes you feel good about it. But yeah, give me Max Verstappen. It's still 2-1. That's still a pretty decent number for a pole for Max.
To argue too much against Max Verstappen. He is not the Captain Shook of the F1 series. Slow Roll says, what up, guys? Wants to know if there's a Captain Shook in the F1. I don't know that there's a Captain Shook currently in F1. I would say, well, could possibly make a case for Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, he's being shooketh.
He has been a bit shook. So I would say, I don't know if he's a captain just yet, maybe a lieutenant still, but he could get promoted to captain here sooner rather than later.
That would be hilarious. I'll do the pinning if he gets promoted. But all right, Cody, where we go next?
Yeah, next up for me, I'm going to run it back. Look, Pierre Gasly cashed the points for us last week in Brazil. Why not run it back? It's plus 750. We only got it at was it 6-1 or 4-1 last week? It was a good number, but not this big of a number. Plus 750. I will take it. We talked about it, right? His team has been the worst team on the grid, but didn't stop him last week from going out, getting that points finish, and having a solid day for us, a solid weekend all around for Gasly. So we're gonna take the money we won last week, reinvest some of it this week, try and run it back. He did DNF in this race last year, didn't get to the end of the day, but in 2023, an 11th place run here. So last week, part of the story with him was, hey, he's done it before at Brazil. He's been consistently good here. Hard to have too much consistency in only 2 races, obviously. But in 11th place in the one race where he did get to the end, you like that. That's just outside the points, right? Because it's top 10 finish. So he's coming off that 10th place finish at Brazil. And he's had some other runs inside of the points this year. 6th place at the British Grand Prix, 8th in the Spanish Grand Prix, 7th place in Bahrain as well. So Gasly's been able to get it done a few times this year. He's coming off of a great run last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it is at this point now, last race, right? But, and he's been close to doing it here before. Again, in a points, in the odds of the points, I guess is what I'm going for here, where there's not a lot of great options. I think that getting Hülkenberg at plus 225 is a good value, and then getting Gasly coming off of a points finish at this big of a number, plus 750, it's worth throwing some out there. So run it back with Pierre Gasly, plus 750 for a points finish.
We forget that he's been a durable driver and a solid driver. I feel like with these rookies that have come in, a lot of these veteran guys are starting to get a little overshadowed because they're the new shiny toy in town. And guys like Pierre Gasly, who, last year we would pretty much pencil in for a points finish each and every week in that Alpine. So yeah, I mean, to have him at plus 750, boy, those shiny objects have gotten a lot shinier to take guys like him and put him down that long. So yeah, why not, right? Why not do it? Speaking of shiny toys, how about the Racing Bulls? I am so mad. I picked Haas last week for double points because Bearman, I knew Bearman, but I just completely overlooked the Racing Bulls as both ended up finishing inside of the points, and impressively too, not just finish inside of the points, but impressively finished inside of the points. And I got to tell you, man, I've been on Isaac Hadr for the beginning of the season. Like I was on him early, giving points finishes out for him and really applauding his efforts in that Racing Bull car. But Liam Lawson, right, started in Red Bull and lost the seat. And, he thought, oh man, this is probably going to have him hang his head. No, he's out here driving like you guys should have left me in because he actually finished better than Yuki in this last race that there was. So, he's really making a case for he should have probably stayed up there. Liam Lawson average finish this season of 13.1. But look, the Racing Bulls have had 2 double points finishes over the last few races. They just did it in Brazil a couple of weeks ago. They did it at Baku earlier, where Liam Lawson finished in 5th and Isaac Hadr finished in 10th. So, I mean, these guys, they're putting together some solid runs between themselves. I mean, Isaac Hadr average finish of 11.5. I mean, I know it's not an average finish inside of the points, but when we just talked about guys like both Mercedes drivers that are going to constantly put themselves in there, both McLaren drivers are going to constantly put themselves in there. Ferrari, you'll get 1 of 2 sometimes. Boy, poor Lewis. And then Red Bull, you get 1 of 2. So that is leaving spaces open now for these Racing Bulls, for these Haas cars, for these Alpine cars, for these Williams cars, for Carlos Sainz even to find his way in there. And so for me, like I'm taking it back. I think these Racing Bulls, we can't really ignore them in the points finishing, where they're just moving up now in the constructor standing. And you're getting them at plus 450 over on DK to pull another double points finish. And again, this is not as cut and dry as it's been in a few seasons back, where, all right, there's only 4 open spots in the top 10. There's only 3 open spots in the top 10. Now you got 5 open spots or so. And I'm throwing both Racing Bulls in there again this week to get us a good little plus 450 return.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit last week, but last time, right? 2 weeks ago, I guess, when we had the last event in Brazil, but we talked about it. Those guys are still racing to try and impress the mothership, right? The Racing Bulls is essentially the junior team it'd be like Hendrick having, the Hendrick team and then having the Hendrick Bull team, that's the other Hendrick cars that are in lesser equipment and want to be on the Hendrick team, right? But they are still racing for the possibility of that. We don't know for sure Max Verstappen is going to be back with Red Bull. But even if he is, Yuki Tsunoda, I don't think is probably coming back to that car based on the way he's performed in an overall sense this year. So those guys, Lawson started there, got kicked out, but Hadr, I think, has made a prime case for that. But Lawson has made a case for, hey, maybe I just needed a little more time. Maybe it was more of the car, like what Yuki's not doing in it, than it was me, right? And maybe you still get that opportunity. So those guys are racing for a lot right now. And also the constructors, one spot in the constructors standings, whether that's from 8th to 7th or wherever, that means a lot to the teams that are battling farther down in there as well. So, I think you're getting full effort from both those guys right now. And lights are going to be shining bright in Las Vegas this weekend.
They sure are. How much fun is that, though? It's fun to watch these guys, the Racing Bulls, actually do well. It's fun to watch the Alpines and the Haas's and these guys mix it up, because as much as it's fun to watch the elite get at it, like these guys back there, it's no hold bars. Like we watched it last week, just no hold bars, man.
Yeah, it's been, it's just been great to see. And like you said, some of the years previous, you really had your groups. Like these are the guys that are gonna be in this group. These are the guys are gonna be in this group. These are the guys are gonna be in this group. And it's just not that way this year. And it's been great to watch F1 and kind of that evolution. So love it, Laura. I see your question. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Hang tight. Nico checking in. We just gave him a plug for checking out the Discord. But says, morning, gents. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any FP1 odds yet. But, we've got to back my boy Nico. 3 top 3s in F1 FP1s in the last 3 races. So there you go. Nico Hulkenberg, of course. Nico, is that your namesake? Nico and Nico? Great morning show, by the way. Nico and Nico. I don't expect to hit at this track, but he's riding it out. So there you go. There's your play. Make sure you get in the Discord for the rest of them from Nico.
Indeed. All right, we will get to more of our bets here in just a second, but I would like to take this opportunity to tell you over our friends at Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it. College football, NFL, and now they just added the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. I think I was telling you guys the other day about the under in that Raiders game. Woo, I hope you took it, because that was atrocious. Rhythm helped us out with that one, so lots of love to them. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. My buddy sent me a reel. AI is scary. One of these days, we're just not going to be able to tell what's real and what's not. Right? It's insane.
Sometimes now you can't even tell. Sometimes it's like, is that real? And you're like, oh boy, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you got to have good eyes, because he sent me a reel where Geno Smith was apologizing for putting on that atrocious performance. And yeah,
well, he should. He's probably full rod, but not to us, because if you've been following over on the YouTube, we've been counting down different ways to the Daytona 500 every year. We got some really great feedback, I guess, at some points, right? Some people didn't like the number thing. Last year, we were doing the numbers posts with some history or whatever. But this year, I was like, 91 days left 2 days ago till the Daytona 500. I was like, I'm going to do 91 bets in 91 days. I am off to a 2-0 start. So head over to YouTube. Just doing a little short every day, like a minute or less, with a pick for the day, college basketball pick today. So, get in on that and join the fun as we count down. Only 89 days till the Daytona 500, Rod, which means we're only, 65 days away from the clash at Bowman Gray. Oh, it'll be here before you know it.
It's like tomorrow. That's not even fair. It's amazing to think.
It's insane. Thanksgiving is next week already. And then Christmas is basically here. And then it's racing season. So you love it. But, back to the racing we do have this week. I am going to ride my little mini car lift here with one of those young guns that you talked about earlier, Mr. Oliver Bearman. Absolutely, or Bearman, I guess it is. Bearman.
You deal with beer.
I'm a Bearman.
Yeah.
He's a Bearman. All good either way. Oliver Bearman. So I'm going to take his points finish plus 105. I think that you're in a great number for a guy that's been as solid as he has lately. We're also going to step up to the top 6 finish. You mentioned it. It's been a good bag of 7 different teams inside of the points last time out at Brazil. For him to step up a little bit, get into the top 6, plus 450, I think that's a great number. And then if you go over to DraftKings, they're offering Oliver Bearman as the Oliver Bearman rather, as the winner without the big 5 teams. So essentially they just, don't count the Mercedes team, they don't count the Red Bull team, they don't count the Aston Martin team, they don't count the Ferrari team, and they don't count the, I don't remember which one I didn't say, McLaren probably. But so you take those 10 drivers out of it. So all he has to do is beat the other 9 drivers in the field. You don't have to worry about the quote unquote top 10 drivers. Lance Stroll kind of gets lumped in there just because his teammate's somewhat decent, but either way, we'll take it. So going to ride all those bets on Mr. Bearman. And reason why, Rod, 4 points finishes in a row for this rookie. He has had an amazing run lately this season, right? It's been a great rookie season. 8 points finishes on the season. 12 times this year he's finished in the top 11. So he's been within 1 spot of the points finish at least. 6th place at Brazil, 4th place at Mexico, 9th place at the U.S. Grand Prix, 9th place at Singapore. Those are, of course, those 4 points finishes in a row. But that's the last 4 races, right? 9th, 4th, and 6th. So 4 points finishes in a row, 2 top 6s in a row, and you're still getting these great numbers on him. And if he's going to finish in the top 6, the chances that he beats those 9 other drivers that aren't on the big 5 teams at plus 550, I think you're getting great numbers all across the board here. So really, really love the points finish. The fact that you're getting plus money, if it's plus 105, so about even, right? But I think that's a great deal on a guy who's got 4 in a row. He's been running hot right now. Haas has looked pretty solid. You talked to them a lot last week, and he has looked great. So give me Oliver Bearman with the points finish at plus 105, the top 6 plus 450, and then the winner without the big 5 teams at plus 550 over on DraftKings.
Yeah, like I said earlier about the rookies, there's just been such an impressive showing from all of these kids. And Ollie Bearman's one of the guys that has been leading that charge, him and Kimi and Isaac. Like those 3 guys are the ones that are pretty much spearheading this. Laura says beer on your mind. It's always on the
beer's it's my day job. So yes, beer's always on the mind, Laura.
and beer is my night job. And drinking it is the night part. Yeah.
That too.
So no, and I like it because I'm actually going to take a rookie as well in my next one. We talked about him just a second ago in the Racing Bulls portion of this, but Isaac Hadr is matched up against Alexander Albon on the DK machine over there, minus 115 for Hadr over Albon. This is going to be close. I will tell you that much right now. This is not a cut and dry one. This is not where I say that Isaac is going to smash Alexander, because Alex has an average finish this season, believe it or not, of 10.6 in that Williams. We talked about Carlos Sainz and him kind of being the Williams guys, and we thought Carlos Sainz would be the guy, but Albon's actually been the torchbearer for the Williams team right now, and it's not even kind of been close at some points. But like I said, Hadr 11.5 average finish this season. And then Isaac did get the best of Alexander in this last race, where Isaac finished 8th, and then Albon finished in 11th. Like I said, it's just been one of those things where it's been nip tuck, right? Hadr was 13th in Mexico. Albon was 12th. In Coda, Albon was 14th, and then Hadr was 16th. Marina Bay, it was Hadr 11th, and then Albon 14th. So it's been back and forth, right, between these guys. They've been trading off who's getting who. But to me, I feel like this is just the rookies have been so impressive and they've been so good. And these Racing Bulls have been kind of excelling where the parent company might be getting a little, maybe treating them a little better. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But all I know is that these Racing Bulls have actually looked very racy lately. And for Alex Albon, it's not a measure of I don't think he can do it, because obviously we've seen him do it time and time again. But yeah, I feel like Isaac Hadr's just got a little bit more there, and I like what I'm seeing out of him and these Racing Bulls lately. So I'm just gonna have something to cheer for and give the nod to him.
Yeah, no arguments from me here. Love Hadr. He's been a great guy in DFS. I've used him quite a few times. He's helped me take down our weekly DFS contest a couple of times. So gotta love that. Just been a solid guy this season. So I will ride with you on that. I know we sort of talked a little bit of shit about Yuki Tsunoda, I guess, but I'm going to take him in this next bet. And mostly this is just a value thing, a numbers thing. So if you go over to Caesars, they've got groups listed there. This is group number 3. You can get Yuki Tsunoda, who's actually the longest shot in this group at plus 650. And it's against Isaac Hadr, who you just made a case for. Oliver Bearman, God damn it, I keep doing it. It's over Isaac Hadr, who you just made a case for. Over Oliver Bearman, who I just made a case for. And Carlos Sainz, who, like you said, has been kind of disappointing this season, honestly, for what I think a lot of us expected out of him. But so you made the case for the Racing Bulls. You made the case for Hadr. Obviously, if they have a good day, get that double point stay, plus 450. You're not going to be super sad if this isn't cash. If Bearman has a great day, gets that points finish, gets that top 6, and this doesn't cash, you're going to have a pretty solid day. You're not going to care as much either. But those things can happen, and Yuki could still win this. I just think that you're getting a Red Bull car going against a Haas car, a Racing Bulls car, and a Williams car. The Red Bull car should be the best car in this, right? And Yuki's not always been the best car this season, most of the season, really. But he still had his ups, and he still had things where he's gotten stuff done. So 9th place finish here last year. It was a solid run for him there. Of course, with the Racing Bulls at the time. DNF'd here in 2023. Perez did finish 3rd place here last year in that car. So, take that for what it's worth. He's been hit or miss this season, like I mentioned, 17th, 11th in the last 2 runs. But before that, 6th place in the U.S. Grand Prix. That was, of course, the one at Coda. 6th place at Baku. He had 9th place run at the Dutch Grand Prix. So over the last 7 races, he still had 3 points finishes, right? A 6th, a 7th in there. Some decent runs. So Yuki might show up. Yuki might not show up. I don't want to take anything minus 110 on Yuki probably at this point in time. But plus 650 matched up against some guys who we think are going to do good. So call it a hedge if you want to, right? If they do good and overperform, fine. We cash those bets. We don't cash this bet. Maybe we cash all of them. But give me Yuki Tsunoda to win that group 3 over on Caesars over Hadr, Bearman, and Sainz at plus 650. I think the number's too good to pass up just to go beat 3 guys. Again, you could do that technically, finishing in 16th place.
Red Bull is probably wondering why did we let Sergio Perez go? It was not that. I mean, for 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, it was not as bad as they thought it was, right?
Yeah, man, such an interesting case because we were kind of calling for, Perez for a couple of years. It was like, just put somebody else in the car. And mixture of Red Bull just not been as good, right? And Max clearly makes up a hell of a difference, being one of the best race car drivers in the world. Yes, but then like how much was Perez maybe making up too? And potentially regretting that now as they've shifted around guys trying to find out what to do with that second car.
Well, I'll drive it. I won't. I'm just kidding.
Rod's available this weekend.
I'm totally available this week. I got nothing.
See, this is when we need Kyle Larson. This is the perfect scenario. You toss Kyle Larson in that car this weekend. What's he going to do? Worse than Yuki's done most weeks? Probably not. So, could be perfect.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the guy that you went with last week and broke our heart because he did. Man, that crash. Even when Max and Kimi and Lando were watching in the cool down room, they were like, "Ooh, that Franco Colapinto had to exit the race early on a really bad wreck. Looked kind of nasty, but he walked away. Thank God. But I'm going to take Franco Colapinto over Pierre Gasly at plus 240 over on Caesars. I mean, look, right? This Alpine team is the one that we used to say double points for them all the freaking time. Colapinto has not necessarily been the most reliable of points guys all season long. In fact, his average start of 16.1 pretty much matches his average finish at 16 even. He's had finishes of 15th, 16th, 17th, 16th, 19th, 17th, 11th. So it's not all glamorous, but like we say, we want you to continue to watch up and down the entirety of the pylon, and this will get you doing that. It'll get you watching all the way down into 15th and 16th place. But last year, he did finish 14th at this particular track. He did race in Las Vegas. As for Pierre Gasly, I mean, his numbers pretty much read the same, but a little bit worse, actually. 10th place at Brazil. That was fun. But again, that was kind of a crazy race. But Mexico City, 15th, 19th Dakota, 19th at Marina Bay, 18th at Baku. Keep in mind, there's only 20 cars in this field. So he's literally finishing second to last in most of these races. 16th at Monza, 17th at the Dutch Grand Prix, 19th at the Hungaroring. This has been a very bad stretch for him. I mean, he finished 10th at Spa, which is great, 6th at Silverstone, which is great, 13th at Spielberg, 15th at Montreal. But ever since the Hungaroring, it's literally been just a string of not good finishes for this Alpine teammate of Franco Colapinto. So this is essentially, the teammates against each other. And I'm just going to pick Colapinto to finish better than his teammate this week because, they're both going to be running from about the 15th place on. So this is just a battle between who's going to get 16th and who's going to get 17th, in my opinion. Although, look, Franco could sneak up into the points and have himself a good day, or at least an 11th or 12th place finish. So he's another one of these guys that I feel like has a little potential, a little far off from his other rookie buddies, but definitely has the potential to do the best out of this Alpine team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little hamstrung against the other rookies being in the Alpine cars, so that doesn't help him a ton. But yeah, we've seen the capability of what those cars can do, right? Gasly with some points finishes, some good highlights, right? Like I highlighted earlier, it's not been every week, so I don't mind taking this. You're getting, again, when you're getting two teammates that are relatively close, right? I would give the edge, obviously, to Gasly. He's been around. He's been in that equipment for a while. Colapinto's still definitely learning some stuff, but the cars are about the same. It's not Max Verstappen to Yuki, right? It's that gap a little bit different, but you're getting too close enough, and where they've split the finishes enough at plus 240 on one side of things, I don't mind taking that. And again, you've got the points finish bet on Gasly. If he hits that and you don't hit this head-to-head, fine. Maybe hit both, right? Maybe I should bet Alpine double points again this week, just so I'm not a week late and miss that. A little bonus bet for you there, but yeah, I do like the bet.
Indeed. All right, where we go next?
Yeah, I'm going to go over to Mercedes. I'm going to take them to get a double podium finish, plus 475. Was hoping for a little bit of bigger number. The numbers are right about where I was like, man, I don't know if it's big enough, but I think it is big enough. I like it, so I'm going to take it. Give me the Mercedes double podium, plus 475. So George Russell, Laura, you were asking if he's good on this track. Yes, being the answer. And his teammate, Kimi Antonelli, to both finish on the podium. They did this last year with Russell, and of course, Lewis Hamilton was still at Mercedes, but they finished 1-2 with Russell winning and Hamilton finishing in second place. 2023, they were 7th and 8th, so a little bit off. But for Russell, he's looked pretty good, obviously, most weeks and lately. 4th place last week at Brazil, 6th place run at Mexico, 6th place in the U.S. He won Singapore just before that. He's had a podium of 5 of the last 9 races. One here last year, of course. 8 podiums on the season. Pretty solid run. Kimi Antonelli, super, super impressive last race out in Brazil. 2nd place run for him there, and he looked really, really good. 6th place at Mexico the race before. He's been top 5 in 4 of the last 5, so he's consistently gotten better and better. You talk about the young guys and how we're really seeing a lot of these guys blossom as the season gets farther in. Kimi's definitely been one of those guys. So I'm going to take the fact that Mercedes was really, really good here last year, sweeping the 1-2 positions, that Antonelli's looked really great. Russell's looked extremely good coming off the win last year, won just a couple of Grand Prix ago, so things are clicking well for both of these guys. You take the podium, which, if you don't know, is the top 3, right? So you need both of them to finish inside of the top 3. Allows a spot in there for Lando to sneak in, allows a spot for Max to sneak in. Outside of that, are we super overly concerned about Oscar? Not really with performance lately, right? Maybe a Leclerc kind of scares you a little, but otherwise, these are 2 of the top guys right now, I think. So yeah, give me Mercedes double podium, plus 475.
No arguments for me. Love Kimi Antonelli. My youngest is just a huge Kimi fan, and when she saw him she's like, oh, he looks so cute up there. I mean, He's such a young kid, man. It's
He
crazy
is.
to see, especially him in the cool down room with the other two. Like he just looks like this little high schooler kid that's all like, "Oh, hey guys, how are you? Can I sit at your table and eat?" But no,
Yeah,
I do love
absolutely. Yeah, and he's been balling out here lately. So really getting comfortable in that Mercedes, and yeah, they look like they've got a solid future around Russell and Antonelli there.
They sure do. I know. Poor Lewis looking on the outside in, saying, "Where my seat was at the table? It was there."
Yeah.
But all right, I am going to go with a winning margin bet. We haven't done one of these in a long time, and I like this. We talked about, the couple of seasons ago, we were always taking the large gaps in this one. We're always like, oh, this is going to be Max Verstappen's going to wax the field with this, and like he's not going to be seeing anybody for another 2 minutes when he pulls into the finish line. But it hasn't really been that way this season, obviously, for that outside of the 30-second gap that Lando put on everybody in Mexico. But the last couple of races have fallen within somewhere in this 6 to 12-second gap, right? And even then, kind of close to it. So you look back at Azerbaijan, it was a 14-second gap, but then before that, a 5-second gap at Singapore, a 7-second gap in Coda, and then of course that 30-second shellacking by Lando in Mexico. But last week it was only a 10-second gap as well, which Lando was pissed off. He was like, I'm mad that we didn't necessarily have that big of a gap between me and everybody else. And I mean, look, sorry, dude. Everybody else was kind of fast as well that day, and Max was breathing down your throat, and Kimi was driving his ass off. So, yeah, I just, to me, the field has not been as wax. I guess it's not. The guys aren't leading by a million. Strategy calls have kind of kept this close. Tire calls have kind of made this close, and plus 235 is what I'm seeing right now for the winning margin. And honestly, like I said, 6 to 12 seconds. It's enough for these guys to have pulled out ahead, right? But like I said, we're not seeing these guys just kind of put it down and keep it there anymore, like we did a couple of seasons ago. So I like the number for this because the other numbers just didn't look quite as tempting. And the under, because on this track, there's on the 2 times that they've actually been on this particular track, the winning margin was 7 seconds in 2024 and then 2 seconds in 2023. So granted, it's the first one, 2023 was not within this limit, but they're not even on this track, they're not sailing off to a 2-hour lead. So I like the 6 to 12 margin because it gives us a pretty good cushion and a realistic setting.
Yeah, I was actually looking at this as well. I'm glad you took it because this is the range I was going to pick had I put it on my card. So glad you did. Yeah, I think this is perfect, right? It's within that range we saw last year. It's within the range we've been seeing a lot here lately. So I think this circuit, I think we're not going to get too far stretched out with one guy. Definitely hope that we don't see too much craziness there. So, yeah, I like it and I'll roll with it. Good afternoon, Jess, as she says, good afternoon, guys, and Laura, of course. Yeah, good to see you both in here.
Indeed. All right, well then somebody's got to win this race, Cody. Who do we think that's going to be?
Somebody has to win this race, Rod. Good luck picking who it is.
Seriously.
We'll see you guys next week. Just kidding. I guess I should give out some picks, huh? I'm going to take George Russell, 5-1. You waffle around, you look. Lando obviously is kind of on a tear right now. You could definitely pick him. I wouldn't blame you for that. Verstappen, you could pick any week, right? We tried to ride that train last week. It didn't work out. Maybe this is the week. I know you got some action on him earlier in the card, but it feels too good to pass up on George Russell at 5-1. The way we saw Antonelli run last week, I think, is a big part of that, right? They obviously have the speed. He won not too long ago back in Singapore, as I mentioned earlier. He won here last year. He's looked good this year and looked good here last year. So I'm just going to roll with it. I think a 5-1, George Russell, a great bet. So, Laura, that should further answer your question about how much I like Russell this weekend. So give me him at 5-1, and then give me his teammate, a.k.a. former teammate, Lewis Hamilton, 40-1. Basically, this is just me calling my shot. He finished second place here last year, of course, in the Mercedes. He's not finished on the podium at all this year. So I don't have a bunch of fancy stats to say he should be great. He could be great. But this is me calling my shot. Lewis Hamilton is capable of doing it. Ferrari has looked really good with Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's looked great this season. And Lewis is just, I don't know what it is, but he's not quite been able to keep up. But we know that Lewis still has it in the tank. We know there's still some in there. And, eventually he's got to get a win for Ferrari, right? It's something we just have to see is he's got to win in the Ferrari colors, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. And racing for the biggest team with the best name that he grew up, all that stuff. And Las Vegas, under the lights, all the pressure in the world, right? I think that this would be a great spot for it. I'm going to call my shot at 40-1. It's not a crazy, like, oh, this guy can't really win races. Like, he can do it. He's in a car that can do it. It's 40-1. Don't overthink it. Grab some Lewis Hamilton.
You don't think he doesn't know that too? Like, I would think that every second of every day he's sitting there thinking to himself, I am in the best place that I could possibly be to win. What is going on? So, yeah, I mean, if anything, this is a good shot. The time's running out for him to do it this season, and 40-1 is just an insane number for a guy like Lewis Hamilton, who should be able to do it every single week. He should be fighting the Landos of the world. He should be fighting the Verstappens of the world, and that's just the way it is. I'll take his, the seat that he, what do you call it? Cleared out the seat that he vacated. Kimi Antonelli, 13-1 over on FanDuel to win this race. His second place. There's something to be said about gaining confidence. There's something to be said about proving that you can run with the biggest names in the sport. Now, like Cody said, Lando's probably going to win this race. Max is probably going to win this race. Like, those guys are always, we don't have to tell you to bet on them. It's you either do or you don't, right? At this point, you either take the chance in betting on these guys or you don't. So Kimi Antonelli is one of those guys where at 13-1, he finished second last week. He's had a great string of top 5 finishes. Before that, he had some podium finishes to go along with it. I mean, Kimi has done some things as a rookie that you could start comparing to the names that he's running up there with right now, right? And so I'm curious to see if maybe his first one does come in the bright lights in Las Vegas. Wouldn't that be something for him, right? Can't celebrate because he ain't old enough in the States, but look, it's just, to me,
that is crazy. Some places where he wins, he could celebrate with alcohol. In the States, obviously, not able to celebrate because he's not old enough. But that's funny.
Do you think there's a sports waiver where you're just like, all right, listen, you're legal everywhere else, but you're not legal here.
Some states, if your parents buy it for you, it's okay. Check the local laws there in Vegas, but it's Vegas. I'm sure they could figure something out.
I think they could figure something out. But yeah, so give me Kimi. 13-1 is the best number I can find for him on FanDuel. And like I said, this is one of those. It's not a long shot. It's a long shot, but the price is not a long shot, and it's still fun to cheer for Kimi.
Yeah, he's that first win I think is coming. He looked so impressive last time out in Brazil that's why I'm high on the Mercedes to both do well, obviously, giving out Russell to win, giving out the double podium. I think he's going to be there. I think he's going to have a shot. No arguments for me at all. I absolutely love this play.
Hell, he held off Max, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah.
Max, Max was
that
charging
in and of itself is a win, right? I mean, being able to hold off Max, especially with what Max was coming with and was able to do carving up the field. I mean, that shows you the talent level that we're working with Antonelli. Mercedes has been good. They were good at this track last year on this circuit. So, yeah, I think all signs pointing up for Mercedes this weekend.
I agree. All right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our bets for this Las Vegas Grand Prix. Cody started you off with Nico Hülkenberg as a points finisher at plus 225. I said that Max would take the pole. I mean, let's just put him on there to start with, and we'll go from there. But Max doing the pole 2-1 over on BetMGM. Cody is giving you Pierre Gasly as a points finisher at plus 750. I said the Racing Bulls would have a double points finish at plus 450 over on DK. Cody is giving you Ollie Bearman as a points finish. I'm sorry, Bearman as a points finisher at plus 105. A top 6 at plus 450, and then to be the winner without the big 5 at plus 550. I said Isaac Hadjar would finish better than Alex Albon at minus 115 over on DK. Cody said Yuki Tsunoda, we're bringing his name up today, to win Group 3 over on Caesars at plus 650 over Hadjar, Bearman, and Signs. And then I know it's Signs. Everybody shut up. I'm giving you Franco Colapinto over Pierre. I need a new prescription, by the way. That's all there is saying. I'm over here grandpaing it right now. Pierre Gasly is going to finish worse than Franco Colapinto plus
You got to push them
420.
down on your nose a little bit, and then you can read better. That's what I've heard.
I swear to God, it's true though. It's when you get this old. Shut up when you guys get this old. All right, and then Cody gave you Mercedes double podium finish plus 475. I said the winning margin would be between 6 and 12 seconds over plus 235. Cody gave you George Russell at 5-1, Lewis Hamilton at 40-1 to win the race. I said give the win to Kimi Antonelli at 13-1 over on FanDuel. I'm old, got to rest my eyes. Cody, let me go.
You're now free to exit the cabin. I don't know.
Or the document or something. I don't know. Let's jettison this thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's F1 for Las Vegas. Should be a really, really fun race. Going to be super exciting. We'll be back tomorrow with some DFS talk for this race, and then back with a third episode later on in the week as well. So make sure you subscribe over on the YouTube, NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Again, going to continue that countdown to the Daytona 500 with a 91 bets in 91 days. And yeah, having a lot of fun.
Indeed, we're having a lot of fun. All right, well then, Cody, as we go and get out of here, let everyone know where they can find you out there in the real world.
Yeah, follow me over on the X at @Husker_Zeeb. You can find all of my work over there. College football upset parlays already out Thursday night. Props coming out soon. Swept that last week, by the way. Go Pats. And tons of other fun stuff. So follow me over there. See you guys tomorrow.
Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can find all of the stuff that I am up to there as well. And yeah, follow along as I lament about crazy stuff. I don't know. I'm going to start shouting at the sky and shaking my fist on Twitter, and you guys can keep up with my old man musings. So, but all right, yes, tomorrow, DFS for this. We'll be back then. So we'll see you then. Until then, can I say then too many times? Then let's go racing and let it ride.